Hello, beautiful humans. This week I am bringing you the recreation of my first ever digital art. And I will be revealing the art right now. Boom. This was my first ever digital art and I was so proud of it. I did this in 2011 and I thought it was so good. I did it on a little Wacom Bamboo tablet that I had got for Christmas, and I wanted it so much because I wanted to try and learn digital art, and this is what I created. This is my first thing I ever did, and there are a lot of mistakes, and there are a lot of things that I wish I knew back then that I knew now, but I guess that is what happens when you grow as an artist. You learn new things, new techniques, and all this other stuff. So if you want to see me redraw this art, then keep watching. And also I am going to be giving some tips for anyone who is just starting out with digital art that may be doing some of the things that you see here in this, like for instance the hair, the type of shading like around the neck there or like on the chest. And you want to see me redraw this, then keep watching. So the first thing I did was sketched out how I wanted the drawing to look in my sketchbook. And I love doing this with art that I know I'm going to be making digital, because I just love the feeling of sketching in a sketchbook and holding a pencil versus sketching in the program itself. I don't know why I have a hard time sketching digitally versus like painting and that kind of thing digitally. I don't know why, but I struggle with that a lot. So I always do my sketches, well, the majority of the time, I do my sketches in my sketchbook first, and then I transfer the sketch onto the computer, and I go from there. I have been doing this thing recently where instead of taking a brush for outlining and doing line art, I've been doing the line art with a real pencil brush, and I love the way it looks. It looks like a real pencil, hence the name, but I love traditional and I'll always love traditional art, but if I can get the look of traditional or the feel of traditional art in digital art, I am all for that. And I have been loving using this for outlining, and I've been kind of proud of my art recently. I just think I'm getting a lot better, and I can see a lot of improvement, and I am very happy about that. I have 3 tips that I would like to share with you guys who are starting out in digital, or maybe you're not starting out in digital, maybe you're struggling a little bit in digital like I do sometimes and you can't figure out what is wrong. These tips will help you if these tips are what you need. But first tip I will give you is to make sure that your canvas is always large and you're working on a high resolution canvas. I did not do this when I first started out, and I now work on an 11 by 14 inch 600 dpi canvas. You don't have to work on a 600 dpi canvas. 300 is good print quality, but I choose to work on a 600 dpi. The smaller your canvas is, the more pixelated it will become, and the harder it is to fit in details. So the higher, the better. My next tip has to do with painting, specifically painting hair. Now, when I first started out with digital art, I would try and paint each individual strand of hair. And let me tell you, looking back on that, I regret that. It does not look very good. It looks very unprofessional, and it just doesn't look very nice. It looks very beginnerish. So I recommend you always paint your hair in sections and in chunks. If you look at the way hair naturally falls, that is how hair naturally lays. It lays in chunks and in sections. So I highly recommend you practice drawing your own hair, maybe look in front of a mirror and practice, or just get some references from Pinterest or Google and try painting in sections instead of each individual strand. I promise your art will go from 0 to a 10 real quick if you follow that rule. My final tip is to use hard and soft shading. When I first started out with digital art, I only used soft shading. I would exclusively use a soft round brush in Photoshop, but if you look at the way things are in real life, then you can see that there are hard shadows, there are soft shadows, there are hard highlights, and there are soft highlights, and I think you're feeling me. I think you get it. If you only do soft, it's not going to look right. You can do a combination of both, which is what I recommend, and you can even do all cell shading, which is like all hard shading, if you want a more cartoony comic book-esque type of look. But if you want your art to improve, use both. Don't just use soft, use hard and soft, or just hard cell shading. You've probably noticed this. I mean, you've been watching this video up until this point, I hope, but the art looks a lot different than it used to. It's more natural looking, the tones in the photo are more earthy, and I just love the way it looks. I wanted the same concept, I just wanted to redraw it how I would draw it now, which is the point of the video, but yeah, I think it looks a lot better, and during the time when I first drew the first one, I thought that the more detail and the brighter the colors and all of that, the better it looked because it was more aggressive, but that's not always the case. And I really love how it turned out, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this week's video, and let me know what you think of my recreation of this art. And I will see you in my next one. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you then. Bye!